Here's your wrestling news for March 22nd, 2023, and we're kicking off today with WWE, as the promotion is now just 10 days away from WrestleMania 39, which will mark the culmination of months of build. While WrestleMania will mark the end of several feuds, there is always more content that needs to be produced after the April event, and WWE has a plan in place. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer discussed the current road to WrestleMania, and Alvarez said that judging by the recent promos between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, it's clear that WWE has a post-WrestleMania plan. Meltzer not only confirmed this, but even went further in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, saying that they have a year of post-Mania plans. Alvarez added that Triple H and Vince McMahon aren't going to wake up on the Monday after WrestleMania and wonder what they're going to do, and instead have an exact plan for the Rhodes-Reigns post-WrestleMania plans, as well as the plans for other storylines. Of course, the fans won't know of these plans until after WrestleMania 39 is in the history books, but what do you want to see WWE do after the Showcase of the Immortals next month? So if WWE has a lot of plans for after WrestleMania 39, the obvious question is simple: what are those plans? As you'd expect, WWE's higher-ups aren't going to be telling the fans what they have in store for the coming weeks and months, but those in the company aren't being kept in the know either. When Ringside News was asked about reports of WWE having long-term plans in place, they were told that more of his vision will be obvious after WrestleMania 39. Speaking about the Roman Reigns-Cody Rhodes segment on Raw, the source added that multiple paths are being set up for after WrestleMania, and that when it comes to what Reigns and Paul Heyman actually have planned, they're playing it very close to their vests. Plans for after WrestleMania are not being discussed outside of Triple H and the top members of the writing team, and the rest of creative are being kept in the dark as to what the post-WrestleMania plans are. This WrestleMania will mark Reigns' 7th time headlining the show, and the first for Cody Rhodes, but WWE doesn't want anything about this match, or what'll come after, to leak ahead of time. WWE does not want their plans for Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes to leak ahead of WrestleMania 39, but that's proving to be easier said than done for Vince McMahon's promotion. While we don't know exactly what the plan is, a WrestleVotes report may have clued us in, and consider this a potential spoiler warning for the main event of WrestleMania 39. According to their report, Roman Reigns is set to take a significant amount of time off after WrestleMania, far more than the breaks he has been taking since signing his lucrative contract last year. This report also says that Reigns could be gone for all of WWE programming up until SummerSlam, but this report is contingent on Reigns losing the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania 39. If Reigns is set to take over 4 months off, WWE will need to put the title on somebody else or face the wrath of a fan base that would no doubt be furious over there being no world title matches. At this time, all signs are pointing to Cody Rhodes being the one to dethrone the Tribal Chief, who is now on day 934 of his reign, and fans of Reigns in the ring should enjoy him while they can. Now, yesterday we reported on Bill Goldberg, who has said that WWE owes him a retirement match, but the company isn't obliged to give him one. Instead, Goldberg's contract with WWE expired in late 2022, and he has been a free agent ever since. And could he be All Elite soon enough? Speaking with Adrian Hernandez of the Bet Las Vegas and the Sporting Tribune, Tony Khan said that he has a lot of respect for the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion and called Goldberg a great professional athlete. He added, "He's a household name in pro wrestling, and certainly that's interesting to hear that he is a free agent. It's something to follow, and he's one of the biggest names in wrestling, and certainly will be something else to keep an eye on for us. We have so many great wrestlers at AEW and so many exciting things happening in AEW week to week that it's always an exciting time. Bill is an exceptionally exciting name and one of the biggest names in the sport. Certainly, it's a big thing for us to pay attention to." Khan was reportedly interested in signing Goldberg back in 2019, but that obviously didn't happen, and it'd be interesting to see how the fans and the roster would react if a deal is struck this year. Given how WWE pushed Goldberg over more popular full-time talent, including Kevin Owens and The Fiend, Goldberg isn't exactly the wrestling fan community's favorite wrestler, And would you like to see him in AEW? Or should Tony Khan steer clear of the Hall of Famer? More WrestleMania news, and just a few weeks ago, Bray Wyatt seemed destined to face Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 39, but fans haven't seen the former Universal Champion on TV in weeks. Wyatt has been out with an illness, and WWE has stopped mentioning him on TV altogether, leaving fans confused as to what exactly is happening with the ex-Fiend. It turns out that fans aren't the only ones not in the know, as Dave Meltzer explained on Wrestling Observer Radio that nobody is sure what is happening. He said, "Man, nobody in WWE knows what's going on there. Not a mention of Bray Wyatt all night during Raw, not a mention of Bobby Lashley all night." Meltzer added that it certainly looks like Wyatt is off the WrestleMania card due to his health issue, and if the WWE thought the match was possible, they'd have Lashley doing promos. While WWE could do a Lashley vs. Uncle Howdy match, the absence of Bray Wyatt would make this last-minute bout awkward to say the least, and we, and those in WWE, will just have to keep waiting for answers. Wyatt isn't the only superstar who has vanished from WWE programming without a trace, as it's been quite some time since the WWE Universe saw Alexa Bliss. The last time fans saw Bliss in the ring was back at the Royal Rumble, where she had a post-match segment with Uncle Howdy, but that angle has been going nowhere fast. While many suspect that Bliss's disappearance is due to Wyatt, that isn't the only reason, as the former women's champion explained on social media. On Instagram, Bliss shared the effects of a facial procedure on her skin and said that her younger self should have kept away from tanning beds. In an update, Bliss tweeted that this procedure has a short healing time and reminded fans to always get your skin checked, especially if you use tanning beds. With WrestleMania just days away, even a short healing time means it's likely that Bliss will miss the two biggest nights on WWE's calendar, and we'll just have to see when she returns to TV and what plans the company has in store. More news from absent superstars now, as on this week's Raw, Chelsea Green teamed up with Piper Niven after stating that Carmella wouldn't be making it to the show. WWE haven't given an official reason for why the former Miss Money in the Bank was off Raw, but her absence hasn't just been confined to TV. Sean Ross Sapp reported behind Fightful's paywall that Carmella was pulled from this weekend's house shows, and again, no reason was given why she wasn't able to wrestle, but the call was made to continue her on-screen alliance with Green. Carmella only recently returned from time away from WWE due to personal health reasons, and was starting to get back in the swing of things before this latest absence from the ring. It's been reported that Carmella and Green are set to be one of the four teams in the women's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match at WrestleMania, and whatever is keeping Carmella from the ring, we hope that she is able to make a return in time for WrestleMania. Now, as the events of AEW All Out proved, CM Punk is not the easiest person to get along with, and there's no shortage of people who have taken issue with him. Even in WWE, Punk would often be very confrontational and was reported to have attitude issues at the time, but one ex-superstar was able to see a more reflective side of Punk after their match went wrong. On the Cheap Heat Productions podcast, Gene Snitsky went into a time when he and Punk's match resulted in a broken nose, and it wasn't his fault. He explained, "I don't have anything bad to say about the guy. I like him. I always got along with him. He broke my nose one time with his finishing move, and he was beyond apologetic. Called me to make sure I was okay, the whole 9 yards. It's pro wrestling, man. It's not tiddlywinks. Shit happens. It is what it is." Snitsky would go on to say that this injury took place at a WWE live event, and it is commendable that he holds no ill will towards Punk for what happened. Ironically, Snitsky's final match on WWE TV was a loss to Punk on the November 24th, 2008 edition of Raw, and while there's plenty of people who have taken issue with the former AEW World Champion over the years, Gene Snitsky certainly isn't one of them. And we're ending today with Maki Itoh, who, with just a few matches in the US, has become one of the most popular female Japanese wrestlers we've seen in years. Outside of her homeland, the Tokyo Joshi star has competed for AEW, GCW, Prestige Wrestling, but isn't planning on staying in the ring for too long. Speaking to Fightful via a translator, Itoh was asked where she sees herself in 5 years' time, and gave the honest answer that she'll probably be retired. Itoh added that before she hangs up her boots, she wants to reach what she called peak Maki Uto, and said that she plans on getting married after her retirement. The Japanese star also spoke about her immense popularity in the US and said that her secret is to only appear rarely and that artificial scarcity is the secret to keep the magic of Maki Itoh. At 27 years old, Itoh has a lot of her life ahead of her, and while the Tokiwa Kiro idol group member is pleased with her success in the ring, she doesn't plan on being a wrestler forever.